Right, as I mentioned in my last week of the life vlog, I'm going to start doing more like short videos about certain topics, just give my opinion on things and tips and stuff. And as ever, anyone's got any comments to add, please put them below to either help me and anyone else who reads them. So the first one, well, not really the first one, but the first one since I've gone back to doing these little short videos, is the Heathrow Horseshoe and the joys of airport freight collections. So that's just all airports, I presume, but first time I've ever been here. Apparently it's known as the Heathrow Horseshoe, so it's actually on the Heathrow airport. It's where a lot of the freight comes in and out of. Yeah, so that's the Heathrow Horseshoe. So it's to the left of Heathrow. Yeah, and you kind of go in, and as the name suggests, it's a horseshoe one-way system. You go up the east side, cut across, and then down the west side. And either side there's several companies, like obviously do the import export. Obviously means you've got a big one, DHL, Swissport, which is the one that I'm getting loaded from, which is also known as HCH apparently, which is Heathrow Cargo Handling. But Swissport obviously own and run Heathrow. Then you've got other companies like Menzies, and then there's some others down the other side. So the two things I've gleaned from my first visit to this place, and I've been to plenty of companies in and around Heathrow, and also like East Midlands Airport, which are sort of air freight specialists, but that's always been to their premises away from the airport. It's the first time I've actually been to the actual airport itself. So in the past I've never had any issues at all. It's just been like a normal job, only sometimes they might ask you for ID, so I just show them my driver's license, passport, driver's license. The thing I've gleaned from today is two things. The first thing is, when you come to one of these, you have to have paperwork. It's no good just to have a reference number, which is quite often the case in most pickups, or you just have the details of where you're going and that's enough. Here you have to have the official paperwork from the people that you're collecting for, which needs to have their letterhead on it. It needs to be signed by their import-export agent or specialist or whatever. I presume has to be trained and approved and licensed to do that. And then you have to put your details on. So before you get here, you need to fill it in. So you don't just turn up with the form and then start filling out your details when you get here. Apparently we don't like that. You need to kind of turn up, and so it all looks official and, you know, pre-planned and stuff. And then you go in, you give them the paperwork, and then that comes on to the second thing. So I am import 99, and it's for the Swissport thing I'm on. It's currently on 77. I've also given my phone number, so presuming if I'm supposed to be there and I'm not there, they're going to ring me, or they might just ring me anyway when it's time. So that's the second thing. It takes a long time. So they're the two general things I learned today. I'm sure there's more. If anyone's done any more of these things, like I say, please put any tips below. So that's the general thing. This job has been an absolute nightmare because the company I'm doing it for, they've just been subbed by another transport company who specialise in this kind of work, because their normal guy isn't in or off or something. But the job notes were wrong. I just turned up without any paperwork. There was no reference number even. The name of the company I was supposed to be picking up in this horseshoe area was wrong. First of all, I went to the wrong one. Then I was told to go to a second one. The second one I was told to go to was Menzies, and that wasn't the right one. Turns out in the end I had to go to their premises to pick up the paperwork when it became apparent I couldn't get the stuff anyway without paperwork. And when I was there, I double checked with them, am I definitely picking up from Menzies? And they're like, no, you should be at Swissport. So good job I asked that. I've come back here. with the paperwork, gone into reception, all hunky-dory, takes all the paperwork, blah blah blah, says, gives me the number. And I'm thinking, right, how long am we waiting here? So we asked him, he said it's probably going to be an hour and a half, maybe an hour. It's not ideal, because at that point I'd already been 2.5 hours since I'd got here, so it could take me 4 hours to get loaded. So that's 3.5 hours of waiting times, and they've said they're going to pay me. The customers, not the shipper, but the customers cocked up on this one, so they're going to have to pay for it. And they've said, you know, yeah, we'll just pass the charge on. It's, you know, only fair. Seemed quite reasonable. The downside is I really wanted to get home quick today, because just a straightforward job, because I started at 4 o'clock this morning. It's now about 5:30 in the afternoon, and I've still probably got possibly another hour to wait here, and then I've got to drive up to the West Midlands. So, as they say, shit happens sometimes. Jobs go pear-shaped. You just got to live with it and crack on and get it done. But I'll be looking for, what did I say, 3.5 hours, 60-70 quid waiting time on this. Yeah, I'm not going to settle for much less, if any less at all, really. So I'm going to get loaded, ring them, tell them what the damage is, and then crack on. Going to be a late one tonight, and I'm pretty knackered, so yeah. Anyway, like I say, thanks for watching. Any tips about this kind of topic, please put them below. Cheers.